Many people experience some kind of insecurity about their own bodies. However, in an attempt to correct this discomfort or dissatisfaction and boost their self-esteem a bit, some of them end up applying products to their bodies, trying to create fake muscles. But this can go wrong, like a model whose buttocks literally exploded, or a bodybuilder whose skin tore because it couldn't handle his muscles. These are the kinds of situations you will see here today. A man gained popularity on the internet by appearing in some social media posts, where he declared himself a fan of the timeless character Rambo and dubbed himself the Brazilian Rambo. In the images he posted, we can see a rather strange physique. His body is that of an average man, but his biceps appear completely swollen and disproportionate. There is no official information about what procedure or method he used to achieve this result, but it was probably through the use of synthol, a type of synthetic oil used to increase muscle size. In his case, the use of the product seems to have been irregular and uncontrolled, and the lack of bodybuilding practice contributed to the disproportionate and strange result we are seeing. Synthol is not recommended because the result is not harmonious, and the product can cause inflammations, harden the muscles, and in more severe cases, even require amputation of the affected limb. Mia Mafia, a British model, gained notoriety after an incident involving her gluteal implants. Mia, who had already undergone several cosmetic surgeries to modify her appearance, faced a frightening situation when one of her buttock implants supposedly exploded. Like many others, Mia opted for a buttock augmentation procedure to enhance her physical appearance. This procedure involves inserting silicone implants into the buttocks to increase their size and shape. According to reports, one of Mia's implants exploded after some time. The term exploded made headlines in the media, but what really happened was that the implant ruptured or leaked, something that can occur due to various factors like poor implant quality, surgical complications, or lack of proper post-operative care. After the implant ruptured, Mia faced intense pain and health complications, leading to the need for implant removal. This type of complication can cause infections and other serious medical problems, requiring immediate medical intervention, and that's exactly what happened to the model, who was fortunately saved. Mia Mafia used her experience to warn others about the potential dangers of these procedures, emphasizing the importance of making informed choices and consulting qualified medical professionals. A former bodybuilder named Lenny Rono gained media attention after a tragic situation involving the use of synthol to improve some muscles he considered defective. The excessive use of the substance resulted in bodily disfigurement due to his body's negative reaction. His muscles became completely disfigured, with parts dissolving and others swelling excessively, leading him to a critical state where he was bedridden and needed assistance to live. To make matters worse, his wife left him while he was bedridden and unable to work or stand up. Unfortunately, Lenny Rono passed away in 2020 due to his condition. One of the most curious parts of this story is that he never admitted to having applied the substance. According to him, as he liked to drink a lot of alcohol, he claimed that on one of his drunken nights, someone might have applied synthol without him noticing. It's possible that this story was created to offer him some comfort. Russian fighter Kirill Tereshin, known as the Russian Popeye, certainly crossed all limits by putting even his own life at risk. To achieve enormous biceps, he also used synthol. As previously mentioned, excessive and unsupervised use of the substance can bring many health risks, such as severe infections and even muscle rupture. That's exactly what happened to the fighter during a match in 2019. The muscles in his two arms began to swell and turn red during the fight as he exchanged punches with his opponent. The confrontation had to be stopped by the referee, and he was taken to the hospital. Kirill had to undergo surgery to remove skin and muscle from his arms and even risked having both arms amputated, all thanks to the use of the substance. Several doctors had already warned about the danger he was in, but even so, he didn't stop the applications. The result ended up being disastrous. Mustafa Ismail is an Egyptian bodybuilder who gained notoriety for his extremely bulky muscles, especially his biceps. He was recognized for having remarkably large biceps and boasted the title of world's largest biceps until something was discovered. In 2012, Mustafa Ismail was officially recognized by the Guinness World Records for having the largest biceps in the world, with each bicep measuring approximately 64 centimeters in circumference. However, the record was eventually invalidated due to issues related to data verification. The Guinness World Records and other record-keeping organizations raised concerns about the measurements and substances used for muscle enhancement, which compromised the authenticity of the achievement. The use of substances like synthol was part of the Egyptian's routine, which he used to artificially increase muscle size. With that, it was decided to invalidate Ismail's record to preserve natural achievements and the ethics of the title. Mustafa continued to be a controversial figure in bodybuilding, both admired for his impressive physique and criticized for potentially harmful methods. Construction worker Valdir Segato was an example of someone who, tired of his so-called ordinary body, decided to transform himself into the Brazilian Hulk, and for that, even put his health at risk. A resident of the interior of Sao Paulo, Brazil, Segato had been injecting synthol into his body for years, even after being warned by doctors about the damage caused by the procedure. He continued to apply the substance and used to show his body in internet posts. The disproportion and enormous muscles, looking like balls, caught the attention of many people, making the use of synthetic oil evident. His profile gained notoriety, and he managed to reach millions of followers on his social networks. Unfortunately, in 2022, Valdir Segato felt unwell at home, complaining of shortness of breath and asked neighbors to take him to the hospital. Still at the reception, he collapsed and suffered a heart attack. Valdir died just before turning 55 years old due to health problems caused by long-term use of the substance. The neighbor who rescued him says that Segato was a lonely and discreet man, but was also a kind person who always treated everyone well. Unfortunately, the only person he didn't treat well was himself, due to the excessive use of the substance that led to his tragic end. Kenny O'Neill caused a huge media stir after winning a championship in the category and appearing with completely enormous shoulders. His pointy shoulders, even disproportionate to the rest of his body, drew much more attention than anything else, raising doubts about whether he was using synthol or some other similar substance. Photos of Kenny on social media began to be attacked, and he suffered massive backlash for supposedly cheating in the competition. After refusing some interviews, he finally agreed to talk about it and in a statement said he was not ashamed to admit that he used steroids, just like all bodybuilders, which was common. However, regarding the use of synthol or similar substances, he did not make it clear whether he used them. With each question, he tried to dodge the subject and in the end didn't answer, leading people to believe he was indeed using it. A woman named O'Neill Ron Morris gained worldwide notoriety after being investigated for an unusual situation. She had an aesthetic clinic in Florida, United States, and received many clients who wanted to improve their self-esteem by paying less for services. Most of her patients sought her to perform a buttock augmentation procedure, and the result was always frightening, with the buttocks becoming enormous. But the clinic's fraud didn't last long. It was enough for one of the patients not to react well to the procedure and need to be hospitalized to discover that inside her buttocks there was a mixture of silicone, cement, and a sealant used to fix car tires. That's right, it seems like a joke, but it happened and shocked the world. Morris operated without a medical license and did not have adequate formal training to perform these procedures. The materials she used caused serious health damages to the patients, leading to severe infections, disfigurements, and in some cases, even death. In 2012, she was arrested in Florida after several victims reported her dangerous practices. However, only in 2017 was Morris sentenced to 10 years in prison after pleading guilty to manslaughter and practicing medicine without a license. Her case served as a warning to many women who sought cheaper procedures in dubious clinics. Greg Valentino is an American bodybuilder who has always drawn attention because of his enormous muscles. And indeed, his muscles are big and bulky. According to Greg, they were built only with bodybuilding, diet, and the use of juice. The problem is that no one can believe that, since by watching the videos, it's possible to see clearly that he injects something beyond steroids. His biceps are disproportionately large, even in relation to other parts of his body. No one believes him. In fact, they call him the father of oil. Greg exaggerated so much in the use of oil that his arms exploded. Yes, they literally exploded. The skin couldn't withstand the internal pressure and ruptured. Despite this, Greg continues to claim that he never used oil or synthol. He insists that the images where his biceps and triceps are exaggerated are manipulated by Photoshop, claiming that all bodybuilders do that. However, not many people believe this story. Many people around the world suffer from body dysmorphia, which is when someone develops an obsessive focus on a defect they believe they have in their appearance. This defect can be small or even imaginary, but the person may spend hours a day trying to fix it. Candace Armstrong was one of those people. She found numerous problems with her body, and the solution she found was to train daily for 3 hours at the gym. She did this for 2 years, every day, but still found problems with her appearance. A gym friend then suggested she use trenbolone. Trenbolone is an anabolic steroid that mimics natural hormones like testosterone and growth hormone. Candace started using it and saw her muscles grow rapidly and felt better mentally. However, problems arose. Trenbolone mimics testosterone, a male hormone, and within a few days of use, she began to develop hair all over her body, including a beard. Candace ended up physically transforming into a man. To give you an idea, she started wearing men's clothes to prevent people on the street from thinking she was a woman, since when she dressed as a woman, she received stares and suffered abuse. Subscribe to the channel for more videos like this.